All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our October 2019 release Go Live Town Hall. My name is Corey Cortez with the Fiscal CMO, and I'm joined today with Hannah Tran and Lynette Andres, our Fiscal SEO subject matter experts. And they'll be here to help us with any questions you may have, as well as a demonstration later. So I'd like to announce that we have successfully gone live with the October release functionality. It's now available in Fiscal production for you to use. And then over the next few days, you'll begin to see more and more transaction data, as well as balances related to the bank statements for you to access. And then, of course, the offsets run on a weekly basis. So if your department has direct to CTS offsets, you may start to see those as well. We had a lot of questions last time around where I can find the presentation. And so in the WebEx box, we have shared a link with you to ServiceNow. And in there, you'll be able to find the presentation from last week. So there is no changes from the presentation between today's session and last Friday's session. But we're offering another opportunity for you to ask questions that you may have with our subject matter experts. All right, so I'm going to do a very quick recap of the changes that have occurred. The complete bank statement is now available on demand in Fiscal, so you'll be able to use that whenever you need to. And then departments can see all of the transactions that are very similar to what you can see in CTTS. And so we'll go over what those transactions look like in a second. There are no required changes to your bank statements and reconciliation business process. If you are currently, or pardon me, you will continue to use bank statements from the CTTS to do your reconciliation between Fiscal and SCO. SCO CTTS is still going to remain the book of record. The benefit of this is that now you'll be able to go into Fiscal, and then by October 7th, you'll see all of those balances reflected in Fiscal from SEO. And this will help you better reconcile your bank statements. And so Hannah will go over what that looks like in Fiscal in just a little bit. We do have some discrepancies that you'll notice between the two, between CTTS and Fiscal. And so those are here for you if you would like. But essentially, they can boil down to there may be a slight timing difference between the two bank statements. A good example is for punishments, there could be a 1 day if you're not using a partial pay voucher, but if you're using a partial pay voucher, it could be a multiple day difference. And then, of course, if you miss any cutoffs where Fiscal is not able to interface some transaction data to SEO legacy, those transactions may show up the next day. Okay. We're providing here a list of all of the newly visible bank statement transactions. These are now available in Fiscal for you. Whenever you get any of these types of transactions, you'll be able to see them. And then, of course, we've updated the bank statement register report with these new values. Hopefully, you're familiar with using the bank statement register report as part of your current reconciliation process. But if you're not, please feel free to ask some questions and we'll have our subject matter experts answer them. And I wanted to let you know that we also have the training course, Fiscal CM112, Reconciling Bank Statements. That's available right now online in University of Fiscal. It's been updated with some minor changes to this content. All right, so now I'm going to hand it off to our subject matter expert, Hannah Tran, and she's going to go over a demonstration for you. Thank you, Hannah.
Good afternoon, everyone. So for this demonstration, I will show you how to navigate to run the bank register. And then from there, I can also show you at the high level how the transaction will be different on your bank register and fiscal versus what you used to see before. And I'm using a test environment, so the data or the balances you see from here will be different with what you normally see on your productions. Wow, it's already posted. So this is the bank register that you will see today. As Corey mentioned, the beginning balance, we will try to sync between the beginning balance as of September 30th between legacy and fiscal by October 7th. So that's one change that you will start seeing. And then for these transaction right here, one of the new transaction that you will start seeing is the check adjustment. So currently the check adjustment, when it show up on the CTTS, it will show up as an AT document prefix. In the future, as of October, as of today, it will come up as AC dollar size. So the document from the journal entry you will see is will start showing as AC dollar sign and the sequence number. And on the CCTS, it will show as an AC and then the sequence numbers. So that's going to be a change on your future bank statement register. And then the same transaction will show up on your fiscal register with the bank code 639. And this is for increased charge. And the reference number, you will start seeing a difference. The reference number right here going to be your check number. So similar transaction, similar adjustment, we also have decreased charge. So again, the document will change to AC dollar size. On the bank statement, SCO bank statement, you will see a AC document prefix instead of AT. And this is to differentiate between check adjustment and deposit adjustment. Deposit adjustment will remain as AT dollar sign and AT. And then you on your bank statement register, you will see bank code 287 for the decrease charge. And again, the reference number will be the check number instead of the voucher or the previous references that we use. Any questions? Okay. Similar to the check adjustment, offset is also a transaction. You will start seeing offset on your bank statements. So currently, offsets are being processed by the state controller office, and that process will not change. However, the interface will bring the transaction from legacy into fiscal and create a deposit shelf for your department. Corey will cover this more in a later slide on the PowerPoint. So today on the bank's state controller bank statement, you will see the offset transaction as an AT prefix number and a sequence number and a dollar amount that deposit into your checking account. Starting October 1st, you will also see that transaction in fiscal bank statement register, and the bank code for that would be 269. And the reference number right here to help you with the reconciliation back to legacy, we're going to reference the same number, 80, and then the sequence number. Okay. Any questions on the offset? So for deposit, there will be no change on the deposit. The bank code will remain the same, 175. And the reference number right here would be the deposit slip from Fiscal. One change you're going to see on the remittance or the payments, or we also call TC47 in legacy. So currently, the reference for these transactions with bank code 495 would be a legacy document, which you will see as $00 size and then a sequence number. Deposit, the last four of your deposit number. Effective today, you will actually see a deposit number, dash, and then the payment sequence. So that's to help you reconcile with your sub-accounting system. So as you can see, this is deposit 113, and this is payment sequence 1. So on your bank statement, you will actually see reference 113 dash and 1. Okay. Those are the changes that you will see at the high level. For the check and the off replenishment, there will be no changes on the bank statement. You should be able to see the same information that you see today. If there's no question, I'm going to hand it back to Corey.
Thank you, Hannah. We may have a quick town hall today for you, but we are available for questions. So if you have any, please let us know. Okay, so we just covered our bank statements. That's all the changes that went live today. Now let's talk about the offsets process. So if you receive the Treasury Trust Notice of Transfer, these are TC46s from SCO. These are transaction codes that identify your department as receiving a direct to CTS transfer. These are not warrants, so this is not related to any of the offsets related to warrant processing. So that's just a standard deposit where you deposit your warrant directly using a deposit slip. In this case, these are offsets that you'll deposit without a deposit slip. You normally just go in and you create a regular deposit in AR. For anything prior to today, so as of anything that has like an accounting date previous to today being September 30th or before, you'll need to continue to do this process. We know that doing the double transaction where you enter it into your CTS account and then do a $0 deposit so it interfaces back to SCO is a tedious thing. So this new functionality will help alleviate that. Going forward, and we'll see more about this later in the demonstration that Hannah will go over, for lottery, UPD, and PIT offsets, you're going to now receive, or Fiscal is now going to create an AR deposit whenever your department has any of these. It'll have the status, it'll have the deposit type O, and it'll have the location OFS. That's how you'll be able to identify it on the deposit page. And we have a new query for you. It's the ZZTC46 offsets query. And this query is going to, or you'll be able to use this query to identify any of the offsets that have applied for your department. And then from there, you'll need to go in and apply the payment to them, or apply the payment to an AR item, or just direct journal, depending on what your business process is. And this is a key change because you don't want to be leaving these AR items in the open status as you close your month. You'll need to make sure that you're checking this at least once a month, so that way you can apply your payments on a timely manner. And so the basic steps go now that Fiscal is going to create those for you. You'll still have the same document ID, so that can be a reference between what you get on your SCOJE and the query. You'll still receive all the same reports you do today, so you'll still receive those paper or tab run or whatever emails that you receive the JEs from SEO. And then you'll use the query to identify any offsets that have been created in Fiscal. If there's a difference, if you find something that is different, then you'll want to contact FSC. Then you'll apply the payments, and you need to do that ideally on a regular basis, if not weekly, monthly. And then, like I said before, you'll no longer need to enter the catch-up ARs as that process is now automated. But for anything that is prior to today, September 30th or before, you'll need to do that still. Ideally, we'll just be able to, all the departments will be prompted in doing that catch up so that we can go on to the new process. And to help you do this, we do have a new topic. It's a very short, it'll probably take you a minute. It's the same demonstration that Hannah is going to run through today. So if you find that enough, then you don't need to, but it is available in the future if needed. That's the AR 124 topic, offset query and offset payments received. And we'll have Hannah come up and do her offset demonstration.
This query should be available in your Fiscal system as of today. So if you have any issue with the getting access to the query, please create a ticket. Okay, so I access to report tours, query viewer, and I search for ZZ underscore TC46 underscore offsets. And then from this query, if you receive a legacy document number, you can search by the legacy document number. If you don't know your legacy document number, you can run for a date range. So again, this is test environment, so we already have some data in there. But if you're running this query today, you should not have anything on your query. Go ahead. We do have a question. So.
Hannah, this is Corey. When will departments be able to see data?
So when we run the first interface, and offset do not run every day, so we expect the first one probably next week or so. Yeah. So what you will see on the query is the document which reference the legacy document number. The accounting date would be the journal entry date on the legacy document number, your BU, and the deposit ID would be the new deposit that created by the interface on behalf of your department. For the AP voucher and invoice information, these are applicable for SCO only. And then for the GL journal, it is applicable for SCO and also franchise tax board. For your department purposes, only the deposit BU and deposit ID would be applicable. Okay, we're going to try to look at this deposit in the system. So you can find this deposit by going to account receivable, payments, online payments, and then regular deposit. Okay. And you can differentiate this deposit with all the other deposit. It will be a deposit type O. The bank deposit number, there will be no link, but we will reference the legacy document number to help with your reconciliation. And the locations, the location number that I show on this environment is OFF, which is not current. The new location should be OFS. So we try to match between the deposit type and the locations. And then if you go to the payments, from here, you should be able to do your regular business process with a standalone deposit. You can either apply it to using a journal directly, or you can also apply to an items. Okay. Any questions on this? Okay. Get it back to Corey.
All right, thank you, Hannah. So we've gone through all of our content, and we've done our demonstrations, and I'm glad that it seems like departments are understanding. So we've got no questions. If you have any questions, please let us know. We'll be here for at least a few more minutes. If we're not receiving any questions, we'll end early, and we'll make this a town hall, a short town hall. And then if we end, you can always send questions to fiscal.cmo@fiscal.ca.gov if they're related to kind of our change management activities. You can also provide feedback for us there. We like to take those very seriously. Any kind of suggestions we do incorporate whenever reasonable. And then, of course, if you have any issues with the functionality, please send an email to the Fiscal Service Center. That's the standard Fiscal Service Center email. All right, so we received a question around if we can review this town hall at a later time. We just heard from our video specialist, and we were told that we could post the recording of the town hall on YouTube. So we have a Fiscal YouTube account. James, can we share that YouTube account on the WebEx? So you guys can go there, and then if you subscribe, or you can find it at a later time in one of the video sections. All right. Thank you, everybody. We're going to close the town hall now. Appreciate your attendance. And then, like I said, if you have any questions, concerns, or feedback, if it's positive, negative, you think we're doing a good job, you feel like we need to do new activities, please let us know at fiscal.cmo@fiscal.ca.gov. All right. Thank you. Have a nice day.